morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you guys watching the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Welcome to Uncensored, the Truth About Money. Before we start, we just want to say Happy Women's Month to all the women out there. We truly appreciate you. We truly appreciate you, and that's why we brought the person that we brought in today, because it's your guys' month, and women are striving in business, like like women are heroes.
Yeah, we are.
That's why we brought you a hero, superhero. So as you know, season 2, we are focusing on businesses, small businesses. You want to start a business, or you've already started a business and you don't know all the information. We are here to and I just want to say, I've had a lady that comes to one of our church, and she was just telling me that her mom recently started a business, and our content has been very much helpful, especially episode 1 on how to register a business. So those are the things that we strive for here on Uncensored, to give you that information raw so that you may be able to use it. That's because that's what we want. We want you to be able to use the information that we give you. That's why we go out there and get these awesome people to come here and share with you their stories, how they are doing it. And we just want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate that testimony. So today we're talking about social media marketing, right? Online business. This lady, she will introduce herself and she will tell you the type of business that she runs, and I feel it's phenomenal. I wouldn't have thought of that business, and she's doing it and she's striving, and it's a successful business. So without any further waste of time, I know you corrected me with your name, how to pronounce it. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna leave that to you.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Tiisetso. But what I told Junior is that because I'm Peji, Tiisetso, you actually say it as Tiisetso. But you can call me Tiisetso, it's fine.
T is fine for someone.
Yeah, ne?
It's fine.
I've got so many nicknames though.
Tell us.
But yeah, I'm the owner of Thrift Happens, which is an online thrift store. And it's operational online. Yeah, that's about it.
So by thrift store, so what exactly do you sell?
Okay, when we say thrift, some people may call it
What do knows?
Kotunosa, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
So you go to Nord. Is it Nord? Yeah, it's MTN. Yeah, it's MTN.
Nord.
And then you go look for clothes that they sell there and stuff. So the term is derived from the action of you. Those garments. So, but the actual term is thrifting, the English term, I guess.
But you know what's amazing though is because I've been to Kadunosa once.
Yeah.
There's nothing attractive about it. But you have sort of taken that
Yeah.
and you've made it what's the word? You've made it beautiful, like modernized it.
Yeah.
Like, I follow you on Instagram, and the stuff that you sell there, this is stuff you get from North, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's impressive. That's why I'm saying I would have never have thought of that.
Yeah.
So what made you start that type of business?
Well, what made me start was I used to thrift for myself because there was a time where I wanted quality denim, but you can't find it in stores unless you're going to pay over 1,000.
Yeah.
So my aunt would tell me, no, why don't I do Nusa, I'm like, oh, okay. Then the first time I went with my cousin, Ulebu.
Sure.
And it was a disaster. Like, we bought nonsense. Like our aunt went off on us. And then when I moved out of home 3 years ago, and I was like, literally, I was in Marshalltown. I was living in Marshalltown. So I was like, you know what? This place is near to me. Let me go try again. And that's when I started like going there often and so forth. And then to an extent where I had women, like my colleagues and some friends and family members that would ask me to do their shopping for them. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then And then the first time I tried, I bought, and then a friend of mine actually suggested that, no, why don't you just run with it, you know? I'm like, okay. And then I bought skirts. That was the first batch of stock that I got. It was leather skirts, genuine leather skirts, as well as suede. Oh, they were beautiful. But I sold nothing. Nothing. And then I gave up. And then I gave it another try. And I was like, okay, if it works, it works. And then, you know, so I just put everything online. And I think the difference with that is that before I launched, I marketed the page a lot and did a countdown. And the lovely thing is that I had a lot of support from family and friends that are on Instagram. They're like, oh, okay, we know your style, so therefore we're gonna, you know. And then when we launched, that's when everything was sold out, and I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
So it only sold out when you had a social media presence.
Yeah.
So
I promoted the page
Yeah.
before I sold anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept on giving teasers of the stuff that I'm going to have and so forth. So there was a bit of a research that I did before
Sure.
implementing the entire process.
When did you start your business?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing now, because I've never really had seen a lot of thrifting shops on Instagram after your shop. So I just want to know, is that something? Was it always there for you, or how did you then go about opening a page on Instagram and selling your things on Instagram?
So it was Instagram it was image based.
Okay.
You know, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, okay, and the other ones. You know, these new ones. But it was always Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And Facebook and Instagram are brother and sister.
Sure.
So because it was clothes and it was image based, it was perfect to have the business there opposed to Facebook. Okay, Facebook you can, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know, but I wanted Instagram specifically, and there are actually a lot of thrift stores online.
Is it?
A lot.
That's what I was thinking.
A lot. There's actually a lot. Yeah. And there is another person who's been in the industry for so many years that I actually felt very honored to have her call me and congratulate me on the opening of the store when it launched. It was Unwabisa from Denim Palace.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. That woman, like, yo.
Yeah.
Her business is just, you know, and she has made it work, and she has been an inspiration for the longest time. And then when I launched and when I got that call from her, it was like, oh. And then some of my advice, I get it from her when I get stuck and so forth. But yeah.
Obviously, with what you're saying now, how Instagram has played a huge role, do you feel if you hadn't gone that route to Instagram, your business wouldn't have been as much of a success as it is now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously, because Auntie, our whole reason for this show is to advise other business people. So the advice that you would give them is that they should go out there and put their stuff on social media and get well acquainted with social media. Yeah,
I mean, we live in a digital world. Things are constantly changing, and advertising or what do you call it? Marketing, actually. It's extremely important in business because if you don't, and this is another thing that we sometimes put in the back seat, that, oh no, I want a business like this. But when it comes to marketing, you don't invest yourself in it, or go onto Udemy, for instance, or your Show Academy, your online classes, and or do your research on what do you call it? YouTube, on how to do certain things. Because if you want to open a business and you're just going to open it but nobody knows about it, then what's the whole point? You know, so marketing plays a vital role in you getting closer to your customers and your ideal customer, and people knowing about your stuff. So you know, but the whole social media is is something that I believe that every business needs to get on. And which platform to use depends on your business.
Okay.
You know, I don't use Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I don't use Twitter. You put me Twitter.
Why do people run away from Twitter? Like
Yeah,
some
Twitter.
people say it's difficult.
No,
like-
it's not difficult.
Yeah.
I just feel that Twitter is a bit. Hey, the streets of Twitter. I mean,
Black Twitter.
so I'm fine on Instagram, and another thing about Twitter is that it's too fast paced for me. You know, it's way too fast paced for me.
Yeah.
I can't be constantly on my phone like this. I can't.
Yeah.
You know, and so Facebook and Instagram, they're perfect because they go hand in hand. If I post on Facebook or Instagram, then I can automatically automate it to post at the same time on the other platform. So yeah.
And then on Instagram, which features do you utilize the most?
All of them.
Okay, just take us. What's all of them?
So on Instagram, and this is one thing that a lot of people. This is why education is very important.
And that's why you are here. T.
When you're gonna go put your business online, especially on social media, you need to learn about the technical stuff behind all of that. You need to understand what has changed, maybe in the algorithm of the platform that you're using. The changes that they have made, and if they have made a change or they've included a new feature, it's best to jump on it as soon as you can, because that's when Instagram or Facebook will push your account to on the Explorer page to more accounts. Yeah. So right now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to have people do every single thing on one platform on Instagram. So you can open a store, you can do your reels, which is like kind of like a competition to TikTok. Well, it is actually reels. You can have your IGTV, which is like competition to YouTube. And then you can have your blogs. You can have your store.
You can have blogs on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah, bo.
Okay.
And you also have stories, which I have noticed that YouTube adopted that.
Yeah, they have stories as well.
Yeah, you know. So they and they also, you can automate things on Instagram. Like they're slowly getting into that mode. But as long as you use all of those features, that's when your account is being pushed by Instagram, and as well as if you have content that is engaging. And they will push your account to more accounts for more people to see it, and it will become visible like to a lot of people.
So now, isn't that a lot of work though? Or do you post like different things or pretty much the same content in terms of, I understand like reels. So you have reels, you have IGTV, and you have like stories, which is pretty much all like video clips.
Yeah.
Do you then post the same thing, or you differentiate for each and every feature has their own different type?
So, for instance, if I'm going to have a normal post, I can just share it on my stories. And then if I'm going to post a reel, I can share it on my stories. So already I've made use of two features. And if I'm going to put it on stories, I'm going to make use of the GIFs or the stickers that they have there, which is another thing that counts.
Really?
Yeah. Sure. And then at the same time, because I've got so many posts, I can use any of those posts to create a blog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How does the blog thing works?
It's based on the posts or any other person's posts on any account. If you want to write about whatever on that somebody posted or that you have posted before.
Yeah.
And then you just write about it and then you publish it and that's it.
So you publish it on your account.
Yes.
And then you can obviously tag the person.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. And then there's this other, I don't know if that's the blog, but there's a feature, because I was on your page today, and there's a feature where you had, I think, 10 steps on how to thrift or whatever.
Yes.
But it's like if so you have your grid.
Yeah.
You have your grid, your reels, your IGTV, and then there's this other one which
Yeah.
the first time seeing it today.
Blog.
Is that the blog?
Yes, that's
So
the
you
one.
can have videos there as well.
Videos?
Because what I saw, it was a clip. So
What's it? I think so. I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Because I'm not sure. But if it is, then it would be great.
but do you know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the blog part.
Do you then? Oh, that's the blog part.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you boost your stuff? I had so last week, just before, I had a long conversation with Usanele. So Usanele is a social media, expert or yeah. So he was just telling me that most businesses he doesn't recommend businesses posting their content for obvious reasons that you don't get generic or authentic followers. You do get the numbers, yes, but you don't get people that will stay on your page or people that will be interested by whatever that you're selling.
Yeah.
So it was a long conversation, which was great. Like it makes a lot of sense, you know. So you are a business person. Do you boost your stuff?
I sometimes do when I've got a sale, but I haven't in a very long time. But I think it's different strokes for different folks.
Sure.
Yeah. But when I do it, honestly speaking, I don't see a difference in terms of followers. And on top of that, I would like people that would follow the page that are very authentic, and that the people that I want to follow, them to follow the page, which are my ideal customers or people that might find value in what I post and so forth, you know. I'll give an example actually, which I don't think many people are aware of this. Like, one of the things that I've stopped doing is competitions.
Okay.
So competitions, what they do is that you'll have a competition and everything. But the last competition that I had, I noticed that number one, it attracts you to bots and fake accounts,
Okay.
which can damage your page in a big way.
All right.
Number two, you attract people that aren't even your target market at all. And then number three, it attracts people that are on Instagram for the sake of entering competitions.
Sure.
And then another thing that I notice is that, like, when it comes to following the instructions that please tag 3 of your friends and you can enter as many times as you want, they tag accounts that, number one, are fake, or they've got nothing to do with what we're doing or what the competition is about, or you don't even know the page yourself. And how I know that is because the page of Thrift Happens have been tagged in so many competitions, and when I look at this person, I'm like, who are you? And you don't even follow Thrift Happens, like, ubani.
Yeah.
And that's how I blog people. I do blog people. Don't tag Thrift Happens in competitions, because number one, you're tricking the other person that's putting up that competition, and on top of that, you're tagging us on things that we've got nothing to do with. Like, it's you know, so what are you trying to do? So that's when I stopped doing competitions. And on top of that, I could say that, oh no, I'll do it because for my customers. But the problem is that I have to be inclusive, you know, so that's the messed up thing.
You said you had stopped boosting. Why?
So the whole boosting thing, I do sometimes when I've got a sale, because in that way, it also helps you target the exact people that you want, like your target market.
Yes.
So especially with people that don't know who their target market is, if you're going to boost your post, it will force you to select. It will force you, you know? And you can't say everybody is your target market. So it does that, and then in that way, I get a lot of sales. When it comes to sales, yeah. But I don't do it all the time, because in terms of followers, it's more or less the same as I would put up my normal posts.
Yeah.
But then again, I want quality people, like quality followers, if I can put it in that way.
Yeah.
You know, not, yeah.
So with that being said, T, like, what sort of challenges do you face with this type of business?
Sizing. And I've always been open about sizing. Sizing is so tricky in thrifting. It's not as easy as going to a retail store and you get your size 30, 36, it's not. I think I once, no, not once, actually so many times I've addressed this issue. It's so tricky because it depends on the country the garment comes from. It depends on the era it was it was made in. And it also depends on did I say country?
Country, yeah.
Country, era, and yeah, I think those two. Yeah, it's so. The last time, like for instance, the last time I had a leather jacket. Was it a leather jacket? Yeah, it was small. It was my small, and I'm a size 32, but it said size 48. And I was like, 48? Yeah. And I'm thinking, and if I had to give it to a client or whatever, then to them, it wouldn't make sense to them. And I've always said that's why I always have small, extra small, medium, large, extra large, But instead of 32, that it doesn't work that way. It's difficult because every country, okay, fine, I can get a size, something maybe a size 36, but which country, which 36 is it? From which country? And which era? Because we never used to have the same sizes now as we did back then. They have changed later on. So it's tricky.
So now with
It's
that,
very
if
tricky.
because I know you because now with that, if I buy something and I'm all the way in Mpumalanga, then how do I then? And it's small. How do you then have a return policy?
No.
Or
Do you know why I don't allow returns? Because they thrifted. Some of these items are pre-owned. So I don't know if you bought that fur coat just for an event that you're going to go attend, and then you go attend, you wear it, you look good, you take pictures and whatnot, and then you bring it back. No. I'm sorry. And on top of that, they don't come with tags. Like you would buy anything from a store. That's why I don't do returns at all. And on top of that, it's also about the whole process that goes into you getting that garment. Time, effort was put in, packaging, and all of that was also considered, So, no. And on top of that, it's also not fair, especially if it's the only item. It's not fair when it was out there, you took it, and then now you're returning it, and then now I have to re-advertise it. And it's no. Yeah.
So in terms of, now I understand. So in terms of like Instagram,
Yeah.
what sort of challenges do you feel? Because I know this other day, you were talking about someone had stolen your account and those type of things. Like what? That's cute.
The funny thing about that, ne? So somebody took the same name as I, and it was Thrift Happens SA. Now the name of the business is Thrift Happens, period.
So your business,
Yeah.
Thrift Happens.
The reason why I put JHB there, it's because the handle Thrift Happens alone, it was taken by another account from overseas.
Okay.
Now I try to differentiate that, hey, this is the one that's based in South Africa.
Yeah.
So this person created that name, Thrift Happens SA. I reached out, like, hi, your name is the same as mine.
Yeah.
There's an account. So I don't want people to get confused between the two stores because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I got blocked. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I'm thinking, okay, now that you don't want to talk, how do I know that you're not going to use the name to scam people?
Definitely, sure.
Because there are lots of scammers here in South Africa.
Definitely.
And people are gullible online.
Definitely.
So I'm like, I'm not going to take that chance. You didn't want to talk. So I had to alert everyone to tell them that, guys, there's another account. I don't know what is the whole goal of that account. I don't know if it's fake. I don't know if they planning to scam people or whatever, but please be aware of this. And then others did report it and stuff. And then I think about 2 months later or last month, I get a client who sends me a message, a DM. Hi, I wanted to find out if this is available, if it's still available. Excuse me. Then I take a look at the image. I'm like, but this does not belong to me. This is not mine. And then she's like, no, I got it. And then she sent me a screen dump. And I'm like, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid, you know? So I ended up reaching out again to that page, that, guys, now I can see that it's actually a business. I reached out on my personal account and I'm like, guys, I've got your people in my DMs that are asking about your products. They are lost because they're confusing the two businesses. I did try to warn you and you blocked me. So can you please at least change the name or make or do something, you know?
Differentiate, yeah.
So I was like, I'm sorry, man, I'm not going to help you push for sales when you blocked me. You know? And one thing I love about the thrifting community is that we talk.
Okay.
We communicate, all of us. You know, there's literally no competition, like really. There isn't, you know, because it's thrifting. What you get from me, you may not get it from another person and so forth. So there's no competition. So I didn't understand what... So that was one of the challenges that I got with having an online store. And then another thing that you get is the whole... somebody tried to hack into my account as well around the same time. They sent me a message on WhatsApp telling me to, hi, dear. They always use the word dear. We really care about you. That's exactly what they said. We really care about you.
Yeah.
So can you please verify your account, your Instagram account, using the link below? I'm like, hey, I know these things.
Yeah.
So the nice thing about work, where I work, we always get training on fishing.
Sure.
With a PH, fishing. So I'm like, hey, there's a link. And then there was something that was misspelled. I'm like, hey. And I'm like, Instagram doesn't contact people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, via WhatsApp, no. I'm like, no. And I'm like, which account? They're like, no, the one that you're using the same number. And I'm like, which one? Because I've got like 2. Well, I had 3.
Yes.
And I'm like, which one? They're like, no, dear, you need to verify your account because we care and we love you. I'm like, love me? I'm like...
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, listen here, I'm well aware of fishing.
Yeah.
And this is, something is not good here.
Yeah.
You know, so I suggest that you stop it. And then I just blocked the number and all of that. And then, And it happened around the same day when the other account, I was trying to reach out with those people. So you will get a lot of challenges. And then you get bots as well, where you have fake accounts commenting on your stuff, telling you to promote whatnot on whatever page.
That a lot.
But you know what I love about Instagram though?
Sure.
Instagram is trying to eliminate all of that.
Okay.
So they've made a function. There's a nice function, a nice feature actually, on it where you can filter out the comments that can view. You can remove comments, and then you can also block. You can remove the whole function of people commenting, and then you can what do you call it? You can filter out the comments based on keywords. So you can actually go into your settings and add the word promote, DM me, DM whoever, like keywords. And then whatever person will comment, it won't show at all. So Instagram is trying to get rid of bots.
So now so obviously if something like that happens to you, with someone trying to hack into your account, and let's say that does happen, let's say with that phishing text that you got and you do follow the link, there's literally nothing that Instagram can do about it in terms of their policy and stuff like that.
The thing is, I don't even want to know what happens once you've done that. But people have lost accounts, or they like, my account got hacked, and it's like, how did it get hacked? So it's just those little things that we take, that we don't actually, they very good. Yeah, they can fool a person.
But the most important thing, as you're saying,
Yeah.
Instagram won't contact you. And they won't
No,
ask you to
they
send
won't.
links, especially on WhatsApp. So those are things you need to look out for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They like Instagram will, like, guys, they don't contact you.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, who are you? I mean, Nagana Tiisetso from Dube, Soweto, Instagram is contacting me.
Yeah.
Like,
So
come on.
just before we move on, I forgot this question. So is it how easy is it to convert? Let's say I have a normal Instagram account,
Yeah.
my own personal account.
Yeah.
Then I want to convert it to a business account. How easy is that?
You go to settings and then you click the option.
Very easy.
That's very
So
easy.
now with because I've noticed with
Yeah.
with your account, if you like something, there's an option for a website.
Yeah.
Which you can follow the website and then lead you to a website. So a website is something that you create on its own, and then you link it with your account. It's not necessarily a feature that comes with Instagram.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But Instagram does have Instagram store. But you need to link it to a website.
To a website.
Yeah.
And also with the like prices and stuff, like if you all that process,
Yeah.
you do put prices how much this thing is, but for you in order for you to be able to pay, it will take you to a
Yeah.
website. So
Yes.
you must have a website.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into website, but we're out of time. So we're just gonna make a part 2 of this, right?
Okay.
Which is the whole topic, e-commerce, right? So so this is part 1. So please stay tuned for part 2, right? So we thank you so much for watching part 1 of this. We've spoken like a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, this episode is also on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. And would you like to just tell us where people can get hold of you, your business, and
Thrifthappens.co.za. Thrifthappens.co.za.
so it's just most importantly, thrift happens.
Yeah, .co.za. And then on Instagram, it's Thrift Happens JHB for Johannesburg. Yeah, that's the handle.
Also very important, uncensored _ the truth about money. Uncensored _ the truth about money. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please look out for part 2 of this episode. Cheers.
Bye.